Hello guys, my name is Karan Patel. In this video I will show you how you can use Python inbuilt functions like maximum, minimum, boolean, how you can convert the real number into the octal binary. So let's get on a screen. So first of all, open Jupyter and read this document. I put the link of this document in the description box. If you watch my previous video, you definitely get the idea how you can read this document. Otherwise, if you do not, please watch this video, and so that you get the list of all, you get the idea about all inbuilt functions. Okay, so this is the list, and we are approximately at the filter function, maybe, if I'm not wrong. Filter. Okay, so what filter function will do? So filter function iterate function from the variable. Okay, so filter function, if you define a filter function, then you have to write function at a x and iterable at a y. Okay, so what is function? A function is to be run for each time in the iterable. If you watch my previous video, I defined what is a function there. Okay, so in a callable function. Okay, so you get the idea from that about function. And what is iterable? The iterable is to be filtered. Okay, so if I name, and this is my list, so the name is iterable here, and the function is task, what you want to do. In a general case, we do not use a filter, because whenever we want to use the filter, we just write if else loop, so that we can avoid this kind of basic and lengthy syntaxes. So just write if else loop. So that's why I not that's why I briefly elaborate this. Okay, so move on to next. Okay, so this one is important. This is a float. Whenever you are dealing with a machine learning and AI algorithms, you have to deal with the float numbers. Okay, so whenever you feel that this is number, or whenever you face a data type error, so you just write float and change the data type of this number. Okay, so if you want this number, you should use float, otherwise only 3 will print. Okay, so if you want write 0 0 here, make it 3.5. okay, so I hope you get the idea about float. So move on to next is a format function. Change your type format. Okay, so take, okay, I have to adjust because it's not a question for this third time. Okay, format function will change your numbers format. Okay, so if you want like any kind of percentage or any kind of this listed format, you have to write an x side numbers and a y side format. Okay, so these are the list of some legal values or legal formats, and okay, and in xy you just write a number. Okay, so I use a percentage format. What it will give me as output is a 50%. If I write 75, it will print 75%. Okay, so what if I change number, like, okay, I use a plus format. Okay, so I want to indicate like this 0.75 is a positive number. Okay, so how can I define in a Python? So just write format number and plus format. Okay, so move on to next is a help function. Whenever you are facing any kind of error in Python, so just open your command prompt or open your Python IDE and just write help. Whenever you write print help, it's like this. Okay, so in that you can write modules, keywords, symbols, topics. Okay, so you can use with that kind of. I have to interrupt my kernel. Okay, so if you don't want to interrupt your kernel, just write quit. Sorry. Okay, and you are quit from this program. So the next function is hex function. Okay, so it will generate your hex decimal number from your integer number. Like if I write 20 here, it will generate 40 hexadecimal number. If you write 10, you will get right 10. Okay, A. But make sure the 0x, yes, 0x is a prefix. So if you want to your real number, you have to element 0x. Okay, so move on to next one. Input function is very important for a Python developer, because this functions that gives users notification and operate from user side. Okay, so if you want to develop like a game or any kind of GUI kind of type stuff, so you can use this syntax. Okay, I use this syntax in my previous video. If you want to watch, I put the links in the description. So just write this command, write your name here. Okay, and this kind of box will occur. I write my name, Karan, press enter, and you get the output, Karan. Okay, so move on to the next one. It's integer. It convert float number to the integer. When here you get the same output, like whatever your number you print, it will take as an output, but it in an integer, whatever your float number you give, it will convert it into the integer. Okay, so I write another float number like 78 from blah 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 blah, and okay, so I hope you get the idea about integer. So move on to the next one. Okay, so it's length. Okay, so whenever you define a list of your work, I list my alphabets, my name alphabets, Karan. Okay, so this is the list, and I store it in a name variable. If I want to check the length of name, so I have to use length name and print this variable like that. So if you do not use this list, and if you want to directly want to know the length of variable, so you can simply use Karan. Okay, so it's 11. I discount because I take underscore. I hope you are clear with length function. So move on next. Okay, so for that it's maximum and minimum. There are several cases like you have to find the maximum and minimum number from the list. Okay, so I make a list of my marks, SPI per SAM. Okay, so and I want to know my maximum SPI and minimum SPI. Okay, so I just write maximum from my list, print that, minimum from my list, and print that. Okay, so in this max feed, you have to define your list. In your minimum, you have to define your list. Okay, so just run this. So maximum is 9.3 and minimum is 6.97. Okay, so what if I write this like 9.300000001? I'm not sure for that, but still, let's try. Okay, it's not recognized. Okay, so let me eliminate some zeros. More zeros. Okay. So this is Python. Okay, so go to the next. It convert the normal number to octal number. Okay, so just write any number and it will convert into octal. So I write 1 2 3 3 2 1, and here you go. But make sure the 0 O is a prefix in the octal. Okay, so move on to next. It's very basic, guys. Print syntax. Okay, so print syntax is print whatever write in this. Okay, so but in this I use separation between the two syntax. If you want, then you can change this hash with underscore. Okay, hello, how are you? And the blank is hello sir, how are you? I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, so move on, and next is range function. Okay, so if you watch my previous video for fun with Python, from fun with Python playlist maybe, and in that case we are design some patterns. So for that we use a range function. Okay, so just x is equal to range from 10 and print x. So whenever you are using the range function, you get the list of 0 to 10. Okay, so if you want to write this 0 to 9, so for n in x, print n. Okay, so I hope you are clear with that, because I am explaining it second time. Okay, so the last and important one is the sum. What if your boss you give some approximately 1,000 cells data sheets and give you the work like integrate them all cell? So what you will do, just write this simple code, x is equal to sum and your list. Okay, so you get the, so what is marks here? The marks is a playlist I define here. Okay, so it's definitely changed because I changed this variable. So let's check. Okay, so it's 58.43333. Okay, so that's it for the video, guys. If you want to learn any other function which is not I describe here, please mention it in the comment section. I will make video on that. If you have any kind of doubt, please mention it on the comment section. Thank you.